Hey everybody, Rob Orgel with Silencer Syndicate. In this video, I wanted to take a little bit of a deep dive into this manufacture of what looks like a little CIA snap-it-together sniper pistol. And to me, this is just super interesting. I saw it post a video some time ago, and I right away reached out to ownership because it piqued my curiosity. We all know how much I hate shooting 5.7 by 28, the 5.7 round, as far as rim fire suppressors go. However, with a fixed barrel and bolt action system, I can now put a 5.56 suppressor on that weapon because I don't have to worry so much about the weight and the unlocking action of a semi-automatic. So this is the Stowaway multi-caliber pistol from Dark Mountain Arms. This is available in 5.7 by 28, and you've probably heard that it's available in 5.7 by 28. But what we got exclusive hands-on time is with the barrel and bolt conversion to make it also 9mm. Now, why that excited me so much is because we can strap on a 9mm full-size suppressor, won't matter how much it weighs, and we can put subsonic ammunition into it. So now we've got a closed bolt 147 grain subsonic 9mm with a full-size silencer on it. So this is how it can be folded up into its small configuration. You see I put a brace on mine. This is from A3 Tactical, and then I put a hollow sun with a Midwest Industries dovetailed style mount. Now to assemble this, I've got the 5.7 barrel. It drops right on with an index point, much like an AR-15. And then it's got the handguard that screws right over the top, which serves as its barrel nut. And of course, after that, we're going to thread on our suppressor. Now for the suppressor on this one, I chose again that full size, but because the Dragoon from TiON is so light, it was my primary choice for shooting 5.7 by 28 out of this guy. So now I've got a super light breakdown package into 3 or 4 major components, and I'll go ahead and drop a round in there. I have shot this without hearing protection, and it's actually surprisingly pleasant. Lock the action, and then you have to cock it so you can carry it around with a round inside the chamber, and it can be shot as a pistol, or fold this device out so that we can stabilize off of it if we want to. There we go, folding out into its locked position. And then drop another 5.7 round in, cock it. Surprisingly quiet and fun to shoot. Even though the 5.7 is supersonic, this thing is like 22 subsonic hearing wise. It is not bad at all. Of course, a 22 subsonic in a bolt action configuration is like, I mean, you already know, you hear the firing pin on that and not anything of the explosion. This sounds more like a semi-automatic 22, but given it's a 5.7 by 28 with a full power, it's very impressive. So to break this guy down and then switch calibers, I'm gonna remove the suppressor, which we're of course gonna hide that from YouTube because they're awful weird these days about communism and other things they're gonna strike me down for saying. Barrel nut / handguard comes off, and then barrel gets removed. 9mm barrel goes in. So I have to give a disclaimer. This is their prototype 9mm barrel. The issue they've confirmed with me is that the bolt design for 5.7, when converted to 9mm, doesn't give the strong extraction and ejection like the 5.7. You probably saw it was kicking a good ways out when I was firing. On the 9mm, it kind of rests in the chamber. In my opinion, this is kind of a non-issue because you can just tilt it to the side. For a bolt-action pistol, nobody's in rapid engagements, at least in my opinions. All right, so there's a little screw that holds the bolt in place, slightly spring-loaded. And then align this guy, remove this screw, and then slide him in, a little bit of backwards pressure, align. Now we've got a whole new caliber conversion to 9mm. Dropping the bolt back in, align the extractor and the bolt, light tap, and we're back in the game. Now let's add a suppressor of choice. So I went through a couple suppressors before we turned the cameras on, and I really like the Resilient suppressor. To me, it just looks nifty, and it's a little bit more full size, so I get a lot of good sound suppression out of this thing. And just how cylindrical it looks with the bulge up front, it just looks cool on this little setup. So let's drop in a subsonic 9mm round, cock it. I'll have to go left-handed on this one. thump of that thing hitting the berm. That one extracted pretty well. Let's do one more. Cock it again. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear it thump in the berm, but it's 147 grains of schwack. So, really cool product that I don't think a lot of people know about. And what I think is also so interesting is this guy is priced at like $400. I think it's even just below $400, depending upon which configuration you get. So it's been out for a little while, but there are two major updates that just took place. One is the new caliber that you just saw me present. That's the 9mm version or caliber conversion. And the other is that this one has a small rail space just below the bolt. And you can see that that could cause problems depending upon what mount or what brace you decide to put on yours. This is why I went with the A3, where it drops down about 1.5 inches or 2 inches. This allows for the bolt to be operated even with the stock or brace in the folded position. I say stock or brace because if you wanted to Form 1 this, you could make this into an SBR. I personally see this as something more of a fun toy, and I don't see myself needing to spend $200 more on this so I can have it as a registered item. I would rather have this as something I can keep in the truck that is a non-NFA item, and then if the survival situation happens, you've got a super quiet 5.7 or 9mm that you could use for taking small game or other kind of fun stuff. I don't see this as a tactical device. I just see it as a very, very fun device. So there's some major benefits of not having a semi-automatic when it comes to suppressors. Now we can add as much weight to the end of the gun as we want with whatever suppressor it is we might like. Also, we don't have to worry about back pressure anymore because it's a sealed system that is no longer semi-automatic, so there's no additional gases coming back to our face. So while it may not be as fun as a semi-auto, it offers its own perks in its closed bolt, manually operated system. The other thing I want to mention is something we really enjoy on this channel is, we love working with B&T and Sig Sauer and those big Goliaths, but we always love working with the Davids too. It is a really hard industry to hop into, and when guys like this are coming up with a new system that has so much ingenuity and it's just fun, it answers questions and offers options that otherwise we wouldn't have had. So supporting those guys, getting out there and finding what they're releasing, and then helping everybody else find those kind of items really is important, because that's what America is founded on. It's not just dealing with the conglomerates, it's also taking care of the little guy who's got the mom and pop shop. So if you know of other cool, nifty silencers or suppressor manufacturers or firearms that suppress particularly well, or just kind of Davids fighting against some Goliaths, absolutely, please, in the comment section, let us know about those companies so that we can investigate them and see if it's a good fit, because we love helping get the information out there on these Davids who are otherwise up against Goliaths on their own. It's a community and we got to support each other. So having said that, with this community and support in mind, do us a favor. Like, comment, subscribe. It really does a lot for us, because our First Amendment is us discussing what we want to discuss, being Second Amendment type items, and YouTube doesn't like that. So help us fight back by liking, commenting, subscribing. And if you like this content, there's two things we would really appreciate you doing for us. One is check out our website, one of our Silencer Syndicate hats or shirts. It goes a long way when you purchase that stuff to help us pay for range fees, ammo, transfer fees, all the other stuff that the government loves taking out of our pockets, as well to copy the link to this video and share it with a friend. Every time you do that, YouTube knows about it and it boosts the worth of this video and puts it in front of more people. We appreciate you. Thank you for all your support, and we'll see you in the comments.